What if I told you the secret to building truly intelligent AI isn't buried in code or bigger data centers, but it's actually inside every living thing? Today, we're diving into a really radical way of thinking about AI, one that's inspired by the only system that's been acing this test for, billions of years, life itself.
You know the usual playbook for AI, right? We just scale everything up. Bigger models, more data, more processing power, and we just kind of cross our fingers. But what if we've been completely overlooking the actual blueprint, the one that's been working perfectly all around us this whole time?
Okay, just look at this, because this is wild. In a real experiment, scientists put an eye on a tadpole's tail. We're talking nowhere near its brain. And the craziest part? The tadpole's body didn't just not reject it. It actually figured out how to use it. It learned to see with an eye on its tail. This is a massive clue that intelligence isn't just locked up in the brain. It's a problem-solving ability that's spread throughout the entire system. So something like that completely forces us to rethink what smart even means. Maybe intelligence is less about raw computing power and way more about being a flexible, goal-oriented problem solver. I love this definition from the philosopher William James. It's so simple and elegant. Intelligence isn't about knowing the one right answer. It's about being able to get to your goal in a ton of different ways, especially when you're thrown into a situation you've never seen before. If you're thirsty, you can use a tap, find a river, or figure out how to get water from a plant on a desert island. That's intelligence in action. And life uses this problem-solving skill across all kinds of different scales or spaces. As you can see here, it starts all the way down at the chemical level with molecules. Then it scales up to cells building tissues and organs, then to an animal figuring out how to move through the world, and all the way up to us navigating these crazy abstract spaces of language and ideas. It's the same fundamental skill, just playing out on totally different fields. A cool way to think about this is what the research calls a cognitive light cone. It's basically the size of the problems you can care about. For a little cell, that cone is super tiny. It only cares about the chemicals right next to it right now. But for a person, that cone is huge. We can worry about retirement in 40 years or the fate of the planet. And really, the entire story of evolution is the story of this cone getting bigger and bigger over time. Okay, so how in the world does biology pull this off? Well, according to the material we're looking at, it's not magic. It's a recipe. A very specific recipe with 5 key design principles that nature has been perfecting for eons.
All right, let's break down the ingredients.
First up, autonomy. Every living thing has one core built-in goal. Just keep going, keep existing. It's not programmed in, it's just part of the deal. This idea of a Markov blanket helps explain it. Just think of it like a boundary, like your skin or a cell's membrane. It separates me from not me. Everything the organism experiences has to come through that boundary, and everything it does goes out through it. That simple separation is literally the foundation of being an independent agent with your own goals.
Second, intelligence is a team sport. Your brain isn't one single superprocessor, right? It's a massive collective of billions of tiny, simpler agents, your neurons, all working together. Biology builds amazing complexity by getting these simpler, already competent parts to team up. It's a bottom-up approach. Intelligence just emerges from all that cooperation.
Third, and this is a big one, life is always under construction. You don't inherit a finished blueprint for your body. You inherit a recipe, your genome. And recipes leave room for improvisation. That's why the DNA in an acorn, if a wasp messes with it, can be prompted to build a weird gall instead of a normal leaf. It's not just running a rigid program. It's creatively responding to new inputs. Number 4 is all about working smarter, not harder. Biology doesn't try to fight physics. It uses it as a shortcut. Things like bioelectric fields help guide how cells arrange themselves. The mechanics of our skeletons make walking super efficient. We even offload our thinking by using tools or, just writing stuff down so we don't have to remember it. The world itself becomes part of our thinking process. And the final principle is just mind-blowing. It's about top-down control. Get this. If you graft a salamander's tail onto its side, over time it will slowly change and remodel itself into a leg. Now, the cells in that tail have no idea what a leg is, but they get signals from the body's overall master plan, this high-level goal, that tells them, hey, we need a leg here. It's incredible proof that big, abstract goals can literally change biology at the cellular level. So there you have it. That's biology's 5-part recipe for intelligence. Now, how does that compare to how we're building AI today? Well, when you put them side by side, the difference is pretty stark. It's night and day. Life builds from the bottom up and is super adaptive. Today's AI is mostly designed from the top down and can be really fragile. Life learns by constantly interacting with the world. AI mostly just passively swallows huge static data sets. And the biggest one, when life encounters something new, it adapts and rebuilds. But a lot of AI suffers from this thing called catastrophic forgetting. That's where learning a new skill can literally make it forget an old one. It's a huge problem. So this all leads to a really crucial point. What if the real path forward for AI isn't about building a better brain, but about copying life's entire process for building intelligence in the first place? Maybe we've been so focused on the final product that we've totally missed the genius in the manufacturing process. We don't have to invent true intelligence from scratch. The argument here is that biology has already done billions of years of R&D for us. It's left us the recipe. The real challenge now is just learning how to read it. And that leaves us with a really provocative final thought. This research suggests the next great leap forward in machine intelligence might not happen when we finally perfect our code, but when we finally learn how to grow it.